According to Amnesty International, she's the first woman to have died in custody during Syria's recent unrest. Zainab al-Hosni came from the city of Homs and was just 18 years old. Her family discovered her mutilated body on the 13th of September when they were at the hospital. They'd been asked to go there to identify the body of her brother Mohammed, who had also been arrested and then tortured to death. In this online video, we see their brother Yusuf. He says that his sister was abducted on the 27th of July in a bid to pressure Mohammed to stop his anti-regime activities and turn himself in. He goes on to describe the injuries inflicted on his siblings and says Zainab was found decapitated, her arms cut off and skin removed. Her death is another example of how the authorities have been targeting activists' families. They'll do anything from issuing telephone threats to beating them up to murdering them. Syrian cyber activists have been strongly affected by the story of Zainab al-Hosni and shocked by the pictures of her body that have been circulating on the web. A Facebook page has been set up in tribute to the young woman who is now known as the Flower of Syria. She has become a symbol of the regime's brutal and bloody repression. Just like 13-year-old Hamza al-Khatib, he was also tortured to death by security forces. Shortly after her funeral last week, hundreds of women gathered in Homs to salute her memory and condemn the violence used by the Syrian government against its own people. When web users saw that the Nigerian police force was failing to investigate a gang rape, they decided to take matters into their own hands. A video of a woman being raped by 5 men was posted on the internet around 2 weeks ago. The woman's face is clearly visible, and she's heard pleading with her attackers to stop. Shocked by the brutality of these images, a blogger called Linda EKG was one of the first to draw attention to this story. She claims the attack took place on the 16th of August in a dormitory room on the campus of Abia State University. Despite the outrage over the video, the police quickly closed the case because the victim had not come forward. But web users wanted to see justice done. Blogger Sugar Belly started her own investigation, asking her readers to study the video and look for any clues which may help identify the perpetrators. Social networks and networkers then got involved. By listening to the video, web users were able to identify several names. Shortly afterwards, photos of the suspected rapists or students at Abia University were posted online. On the basis of this information, the police went on to arrest 2 of the suspects. The victim has reportedly also been identified and located and is being looked after by a women's rights NGO. An online petition calling upon the authorities to bring her attackers to justice has been signed by over 80,000 people. The document criticises the authorities' initial reaction and their apathy. Rape is a frequent occurrence in Nigeria, and the victims, who rarely report attacks, are seldom taken seriously. It would appear that the Occupy Wall Street movement, which was started by American activists in New York's financial district around 10 days ago, is spreading to other parts of the country. Numerous protest groups have been emerging on the web over the past few days, expressing their solidarity with the New York demonstrators and denouncing a system which they believe favors the rich to the detriment of the rest of the country. The site Occupy Together lists all the different protests being organized across the United States. The stated aim is to represent the 99% of the US population that wants to see real political and economic reforms. Photos of the many protests taking place across the country have also been uploaded onto the site, like here in San Francisco or Chicago, illustrating the scale of the mobilization. And demonstrators have been coordinating their efforts essentially via social networks. Great use has been made of Facebook and Twitter to rally as many citizens as possible to the cause. Over the past few days, activists from Occupy Boston have been calling for protests in the city of Massachusetts. Demonstrators have been directly inspired by the peaceful protest movements in the Arab world, and as we can see in this video, for example, which was made by activists from Los Angeles, they're asking fellow citizens to stand together and force the US government to listen to their grievances. The notorious IBE is one of the most popular breakdance festivals in the world. It takes place in the Netherlands and draws thousands of breakdancers each year. This video is for all those who weren't lucky enough to attend the 2011 edition at the beginning of September. It looks back over the high points of the festival and showcases some of the amazing performances.